and they give me superpowers. Ayy, pop me a perk, now I'm fucking for some hours. Sipping on the drink, taking codeine showers. Had no Montana, she be Molly off that.
What's that word, Let's Gang? I know the vibes. Your favorite face, D-Lace, and I'm back with another reaction video, y'all. This video is actually very sad, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've been hearing a lot about this story online, but I never actually really took the time out to tap in. I just keep seeing everybody. I just keep seeing everybody talk about how tragic it is. And it garnered a lot of national conversation because, first of all, she's a woman. First of all, this is crazy. This is crazy in general. Don't get me wrong, but also this is a woman, and I believe she was married or dating a white man. So I know a lot of people were making a huge thing out of this for many reasons. I was hearing a lot of different theories on this, a lot of different stories. But I never really, like I said, I don't really know what happened. I just keep seeing people saying that why aren't people rallying for this? Why aren't people marching for this? They keep bringing interracial relationship topics up and stuff. So I want to see exactly what happened in this, and actually see what I can get from this. You know what I'm saying? So we finna tap in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this video, make sure you leave a like as well. And let's see, man. Let's see.
To me, it just seems like a simple conversation of two people getting together to meet out on a first date.
But what follows that first date is a crime that shocks the Midwest when a severed leg is found near a golf course along Lake Michigan.
I just think it's just horrific.
Spurring a chase across Milwaukee with detectives on the hunt.
Dang, this is Milwaukee?
You know, you just use the clues that you have. Why is there a leg here? How could a leg have gotten here? You know, what nefarious things could have possibly gone on here?
Quick investigative
She's
work.
beautiful too. She looks like JT from City Girls.
And now the accused murderer is behind bars. But the case itself still brings up many question marks that could soon be answered.
I do expect just a lot of evidence to be put on to show that the police had reasonable suspicion and good grounds to believe that he actually murdered her.
The case takes us back to the start of the month when on April 2nd, a severed leg was found here at Warnemont Park in Cudahy, Wisconsin. That's just south of Milwaukee. Investigators noted the leg had pink nail polish and appeared to have been sawed off. According to a complaint, there were multiple cutting impressions around the amputation point, as well as sharp force trauma to the exposed femur bone. However, the top of the femur bone appeared to have been snapped off. The leg appeared to have been intentionally severed with a sharp
And I didn't know this was a first date. I thought they were dating. I thought they were together. They said this happened on a first date? It's a Tinder date or something? What's going on? Oh, who? What? Well, hold on.
Including the bone being sawn halfway through. The leg wasn't decomposing yet either, meaning it had likely been dropped off in the recent past. Here's where we bring in trial attorney Affy Patterson to discuss the case. What are the first thoughts going through investigators' minds? How are they going to connect this to someone when all they have is a piece of a body?
So I think, again, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. You know, they canvassed the area. They looked for any signs, any clues. I think I read in the affidavit of probable cause how a certain detective knew that area and knew in order to be in that area, you had to have special access. There was a gate that prevented you from getting to that area. So I think they just, you know, they used every tool that they had, and, you know, they did a good job. You know, you just use the clues that you have. Why is there a leg here? How could a leg have gotten here? You know, what nefarious things could have possibly gone on here? You know, you think of that and then you take it from there.
From there, Met detectives began the investigation immediately. They started by getting surveillance video from nearby Cudahy High School that faces the park and the shoreline. Video showed a vehicle heading toward the drop-off location at about 2:53 a.m. on April 2nd. That same morning, the Cudahy Water Department reported that someone had rammed a vehicle into the gate. So detectives went to the scene and collected broken pieces from that vehicle. They were eventually determined to belong to a Honda Civic. Remember that make and model, it comes back later. But according to Affy, all this legwork was the right move.
Every department, every district is different. Every department has resources assigned to different priorities. But I think that absolutely they did exactly what they were supposed to do and what's customary. They canvassed the area. They looked for businesses and residential places that may have had video, which was really helpful for
I'm trying to
them.
figure out what led to this.
They
Like, what's even going on for real? For
everything
real.
that they could, and I think that it seems that they spent a considerable amount of time very, very quickly looking into the situation, which is why they got the result they did.
So the same evening that the severed leg is found, investigators first hear the name Sade Robinson when a friend reported her missing at about 9 p.m. She worked at a Milwaukee restaurant called Pizza Shuttle, but didn't show up for her shift that day. The friend told police that Sade's last known location was at Duke's on Water, a sports bar near the Milwaukee River. Her Snapchat location was from the day before, on April 1st. About this same time, investigators are connecting the dots to a vehicle fire from the early morning hours of April 2nd. It was found on the north side of Milwaukee at about 7:30 in the morning, and the car was, you guessed it, a 2020 Honda Civic. Investigators later determined the car had been registered to Sade. In the trunk, they found the clothing she was wearing the evening of April 1st. A black puffer coat, light blue ripped jeans, and white socks, along with her dark grayish-brown purse. They also found Sade's iPhone in the trunk. Initially, she had been reported missing, and then around the same time, part of these remains were recovered, and investigators kind of connected the dots. But at first, it was only that she may be associated with these remains. Why would it have taken so long for them to publicly say, yes, these are the remains belonging to Sade?
Because I think it's, you're going through an investigation. You want to cross all of your T's, dot all of your I's. So you don't want to just come out.
You can't, especially how the world is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying is going on right now. Like how I found out about this. People saying all type of stuff on social media. That's how I even know about this. This is not even being covered for real. Well, I don't even know. It might be covered for real, and I'm in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't really seen much about it from like news media outlets or anything like that. I've been hearing it from like Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like Facebook, a little, maybe Twitter once. Twitter might have seen it on Twitter one time, but Facebook, I see people saying, why nobody talking about this? Why nobody? You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing it for the last couple of days, but I didn't know that. I didn't know it got this deal. I thought this was her boyfriend. This is somebody she just met?
8-9 years where we get information and, we just run with it and we take it to the public because, that's where we are with social media. Everything is at our fingertips. But I think that investigators and officers have a higher obligation and they need to make sure that they've gathered the proper evidence and that they've gone through all the proper channels before they release information. And they also want to be sensitive to the family.
And it was really Sade's friends and family who helped in the investigation. They told police Sade used the Life 360 app that allows users to share their locations with other people. Upon checking Life 360, a friend observed that her phone appeared to be in Warnemont Park around 4:33 a.m. on April 2nd, 2024. And you'll remember, that's where the severed leg was found about 13 hours later. What would all of that look like as far as investigators digging into the night that they did spend together? Because it was the first date, the first time that they were together, and then she was never seen again.
Yeah, and I think that they did a really fine job. If you look again at the affidavit.
Damn, bro, you went on a first date and this happened? Oh my God, that's scary, y'all. That's scary.
I think they subpoenaed
That's scary.
Information. I don't know what company they use. I'm so familiar.
And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I wonder if she like questioned, should I even do this? Cause he's a white man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Cause a lot of my friends do that, bro. A lot of my friends and they're black women, bro. They do that. They ask us. They like, bro, this is a white man. Should I do it? Cause it's like, I ain't gonna say race has anything to do with this, but it's like that fear is always there for them. You know what I'm saying? Like that fear is always there, and that's why they have fear with us too. If we talk to, you know what I'm saying, we want to talk to white women, or we want to go out with white women and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's just too many cases like this. I personally don't want to jump to conclusions. I'm not that person. I don't want to jump to conclusions and make everything about race. But it's like, what happened in the first night for you to do this? Like, this was planned. Like, and this probably could be regardless of how she looked. I ain't even gonna lie. Like,
I think that
somebody messed up in the head.
Timeline and
he's messed up in the head.
Detailed because of the data that they retrieved from her phone. If you look at the texting conversation, to me it just seems like a simple conversation of two people getting together to meet out on a first date.
That's what I'm saying. What the
investigation into high gear, especially when investigators took a look at Sade's text history. There's a copy of the conversation in the criminal complaint. The 414 number, a Milwaukee area code, is Sade's number. The 262 number is the person she was meeting up with. Detectives later traced that number to Maxwell Anderson. More on him later. So here's what the conversation looks like. Sade starts it off.
Where are we meeting?
Where are we meeting? I can do 5. Downtown somewhere? Okay. Broad House on 3rd? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to shower quick. I'll probably get there more around 5:15. Are you hungry? I need to stop at Twisted Fisherman to pick up my W-2 from last year, and we could eat there first. Okay, and yes. Are we eating at the Broad House or at the other place? Let's eat at Twisted. I'm feeling seafood.
Right, so
yes,
what happened?
I love seafood. Sounds good. I'm about to leave. I'll be there soon. And here are the last 3 messages. Quote, just got to Twisted. Are you inside? Yes. So through all this, detectives learned Sade and Maxwell Anderson are meeting up for a first date at this place, Twisted Fisherman in Milwaukee. Per the text conversation, we know Maxwell said he used to work there, and that's later corroborated with staff who spoke to Maxwell that night. He said he was, quote, staying at the Twisted Fisherman to meet a female for a first date.
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing today.
You don't think that someone who is going to take you to a place where they were employed for a first date, you don't think that they would do anything harmful to you.
Exactly.
Right? I'm sure she felt like she was in a great and safe space.
Surveillance video from Twisted Fisherman shows Maxwell enter the restaurant at 5:09 p.m. on April 1st. 11 minutes later, Sade walks in and sits next to him, and together they leave at 6:24 p.m. To figure out the rest of their movements, detectives went back to Sade's phone. After spending time at Twisted Fisherman, Sade's phone traveled to the area near Duke's on Water, the same place her friend saw as her Snapchat location. From there, Sade's phone travels to a residential area in southwest Milwaukee. The phone pings in the exact location of Maxwell Anderson's home. Hours after that, the phone pings at Warnemont Park, where the severed leg was later discovered.
Oh my
They
God.
did a fantastic job itemizing everything from the text messages to where she was at the first location, the second location, his home, and where her, we don't know if the phone was necessarily with her, but where her phone was until it was discovered.
Custody at a traffic stop and execute a search warrant for his home. Inside, blood was located on bedding in one of the bedrooms and on the walls.
God, bro.
Several gasoline containers were located in the garage/storage area. 2 days after all this, on April 6th, investigators find a human foot and flesh in northwest Milwaukee. Investigators determined this foot and the leg found at Warnemont Park appeared to be from the same individual, particularly due to skin tone, size, and having matching
God, bro.
polish.
What is somebody's purpose for doing
Found
this?
about 1 block from where Sade's burning car was recovered days prior. It's also important to note, Maxwell Anderson was caught on bus surveillance video in the area near the burning car just after it was first reported. According to the criminal complaint, he was wearing the exact clothing depicted on the subject fleeing the scene of the vehicle arson, including the large tan backpack with tan straps. But at this point, we still didn't know Maxwell's name. We as the public knew about this case, knew that the remains had been discovered, someone was in custody, a person of interest, but no charges had been filed. So why would it take so long from the point that he was detained to when he finally was charged?
You know, again, it depends. You know, when you're detained, you can be detained for a certain period, for an investigatory period, but you have to go before a judge within a certain amount of time and be charged with a crime. So I did not read the fact that he was detained for 1 week. Usually it's 48 hours, for a felony, 24 hours for a misdemeanor before you go before a judge. So I don't know if he was detained and he was held maybe on, I don't know if he had any prior charges. Maybe he was held with a probation violation or something of that sort. But usually it's 48 hours for a felony. But again, you know, I think within that week.
Damn, I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Even as a man, this changes my outlook on like going out, bro. Cause like I'm the person, I don't like sharing my location. I feel like even in this situation, I feel like sharing the location is helping us it's helping us solve this, but it's not stopping anything. You know, sharing her location didn't stop anything. She's still not here with us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been always my thing about sharing locations. Like, yeah, you can share your location with somebody and they can figure out stuff faster, I guess, days after it happened or whatever the case is. But it's like in that moment, it's not helping you. At the end of the day, you still lose your life. You know what I'm saying? And like to think that this was so far, I haven't finished it, but so far it seemed like this was just a regular date. He set up everything perfect, and you know what I'm saying? He made her feel comfortable and then did this. Even as a man, that makes me feel different. Cause it's like you never know what anybody can do. You know what I'm saying? Go back to somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? They could have people there waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? They could do something. You know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. This is crazy, and this is close to home. This is close.
Cross their T's, dot their I's, and do all the investigating that they needed
Oh
to
my
do
God.
To be able to.
I'm looking getting chills. Like
would stick. Get a charge that would stick.
Maxwell was finally charged on April 12th, and the charges that he faces right now are first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and then arson. Are these appropriate charges? Could he have faced additional charges?
Oh, absolutely, they're appropriate charges. Absolutely.
And is it possible that they add charges in addition to what he already faces?
They can always add charges. You know, there are always things that you can uncover as you investigate, and they're going to continue their investigation. So absolutely, charges can be put on at any time.
From here, there could still be more investigative work ahead. Is it possible that additional parts of the body could be found around the area?
It could be found anywhere. It's so frustrating, you know, just thinking about it and talking about her as a leg and as body parts, you know.
Know what I'm saying?
It's frustrating because, you know, we've all been young, or we know young people who, you know, you just hope for the best for them, and, you know, to just have them reduced to a leg, it's kind of frustrating. But yeah, body parts could be anywhere.
Like damn, bro.
Again, I'm sorry. It's just really upsetting.
Like how they, bro. I'm not crying on this camera, bro. This is honestly sad, bro. Like, do they even know where her? Like, did they even find her? Like, are they just finding body parts, or did they just find? You know what I'm saying? Or did they just find her? Or have they not found her yet? Like, did they not find her head? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they just finding body parts?
And to just talk about.
And while the nature of the case is gruesome, Affy doesn't believe that will slow down investigators. I think another difficult aspect of this case is that she was dismembered, that different remains were found in different locations. So is that going to make things more difficult in terms of deciphering how she was killed or where and when?
I don't think so. You know,
I need a why as well.
To the coroner to determine how she died, time of death. I think it'll be fine. I don't think the dismemberment is going to be an issue. You know, but of course, the more information you have, the better. But no, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
But we're still unclear why any of this happened at all.
That's what I'm saying.
How important in a case like this is motive and determining what led up to Sade's murder?
And, you know, thank goodness motive is never an element of a crime. I think when you have jurors always want to know, because, you know, they're human beings, we're all human beings. Why? You know, why would you do this? What was going through your mind?
This is a beautiful girl too, y'all. This is crazy.
Or had you already been planning this?
She did not deserve this to happen to her, man.
Yeah,
She did not deserve that.
What the motive is, but it's not an element of
I don't
crime,
even
so
know
it's
her.
not
Nobody
gonna
deserves.
play,
No, I'm saying nobody deserves that at all.
But of course,
At all.
it's always,
I ain't even gonna lie.
to have a motive to
He might at this point. He might
to a jury,
but no, bro.
The defense team might want to
Come on, bro.
a lack of or the absence of a motive. But again, it's not an element of a crime.
You mentioned his defense team. What sort of defense could Maxwell Anderson have in a case like this?
Insanity, or it wasn't me.
How would his defense go to prove either of those things?
So let's say not guilty by reason of mental infirmity or insanity. You know, you would have to prove that there's some sort of diagnosis. At the time that he committed the crime, he did not have the capacity to understand what he was doing. He had some type of mental disease or defect. You know, you'd have to prove that. You'd probably want to look into a history of, to see if he has a history of mental illness, or see if he can get a mental health evaluation, maybe be diagnosed with some sort of mental illness. Otherwise, he could just argue that, of course, it wasn't him, but there's so much overwhelming evidence that shows that it was him.
I'm saying there's blood in his room, all type of stuff. Like what?
Defense team, but those are
it's
the only
him.
two defenses I can think of.
Like that's what the law is crazy,
we don't
bro.
quite know why, but what about the how? Another question mark we have in the case right now is the murder weapon. We know, according to the criminal complaint, that parts of Sade's body appear to have been sawed off, but we don't have any sort of weapon right now. Is that going to be something really important for the prosecution to present in the case, or does it even matter?
It does matter, but I don't think you need a murder weapon to get a conviction, just like you don't always need a body to get a conviction. So it's a matter. It may be something that's of benefit to his defense, but
every time they show her, bro, I can't. It's like I can't even look.
But
I can't even look
there
her.
are
Look at
things
her.
About this case, we still don't know yet. And being from Wisconsin myself, I've actually heard some off-the-record information about this case from multiple different people. This hasn't been made public, but I have seen other news stations locally in Milwaukee reporting similar things. Allegations that there may have been a sex dungeon in his basement, that the room may have been soundproofed, things like that. Not confirmed yet, but some people are talking about it. Is this information that we could expect to see at a prelim?
Absolutely. And it's so interesting that you say that, because when I was reading this, my thoughts were, who has come before this young girl? You know, who has he victimized before? So it makes so much sense that you say that he's got a sex dungeon, and maybe he lures young women to his home for whatever private practices he has. But that makes so much sense that you say that.
And I am wondering too, in that vein, this is pretty severe to go right to murder and then dismemberment. So as you were saying, there could have been prior women or men who he had victimized before this. So is it possible that seeing his name or his photo across Wisconsin, that these people would come forward with additional information?
Absolutely. And not only that.
All right, man. It's hard for me. I don't even know how I made it this far, honestly. I just wanted to know the story, but I guess there's no official story out. When there is an official story, I'm gonna try to come on here and watch it and see what's going on. This is sad as hell, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Like and it's even worse than I thought. I had no clue. Like, and honestly, is this worse? I mean, this is crazy regardless, but yeah, it's worse, bro. It's worse. Like, you meet somebody on a first date and this happens. Like, she probably realistically went back to his house to chill, do whatever with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, she wasn't thinking that this was like, oh my God, bro. Yeah, I don't even know what to say, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, hopefully we get a motive at some point, just to see like why. You know, like, was this just something he wanted to start doing? Was this like his first time attempting to do this? Like, was he trying to be like a serial? You know what I'm saying? Like, did something happen? Did they get into an exchange? But what exchange made you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it. This is sick, y'all. I just want to send my prayers out to Sade Robinson's family. And man, I don't know. This just made me look at a lot of stuff differently. You know, everybody goes on dates, first dates, and meet people, and then it's like this could happen to anyone. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all stay safe out there. I'm gonna stay safe. Make sure y'all stay safe out there. And I want to send my prayers out, like I said, to Sade Robinson's family. And yeah, man, there's an update. We'll come back. Yeah, man.
I'm a fault with.
Saw that I was done, but just getting started, bitch. I'm far from finished. Gotta keep it right up in the shot, and I ain't talking Dennis. And I'm asking by if anybody trying to